It's crazy how your transitions has been so like
Fast.
yes and like natural and easy. And I'm like, how does it do that? Like,
How do I do it? Like I tell everybody, hard work.
hard work.
And putting your time.
And building trust.
And building trust. And everybody sees that you're working hard.
Welcome to How Hard Can It Be, where we're bringing experts in different fields to learn about what it really takes to do what they do. I am your host, Carlos Herrero, and today we have Anthony Gomez here, President of UniTech Builders and Latin Builders Associations, LBA. He is also a general contractor with over 32 years of experience and has worked with Miami-Dade County School Board since 1997, rehabilitating and maintaining over 300 schools, as well as kids parks in Dade County and City of Miami. And today we're going to talk to him about the challenges of owning a commercial construction company. Welcome, Anthony. How are you, sir? How are you doing?
How you doing, Carl?
Nice to have you here today.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us a bit about yourself, where you come from, how you get to this business that you have, and so forth. Who is Anthony Gomez?
Great question. I come from a lineage of construction family. All of them have either fence companies, construction companies. They were subs, or either they worked for another company. My dad started the company. The name was Tony and Sons at the beginning. I remember going to job sites when I was 5 years old with him. And I grew up in that field. And half my family grew up in that field. And obviously, you learn the trade. And, my brother and I, we went from Tony and Sons to UniTech Builders. But we're not the typical GC out there, because we did the pick and shovel. We did the sledgehammer. We formed tie beams. We formed, footings. We laid the steel. We poured the concrete. So we were hands-on from the ground up. So when we have a sub that we sub out to do work and they're doing the job, we know exactly what it takes to do that job.
Got it. So you have much respect for them.
Absolutely. Much respect.
So your dad opened the company in 1972, you said?
1979.
1979. And then you guys started with as a general contractor, or
Actually, we were as a sub.
as a subcontractor?
We were formwork.
Okay, so
We were structural contractor.
structure contractor, shell contractor. So for the people who don't understand, structure contractor is basically the people that do the bricks, the mortar, the shell, the house, the everything to the roof.
The trusses and sheeting the trusses also.
Exactly.
It's part of the structure.
Okay, so your dad had this vision when he was younger. He opened his company. Let me be a structure contractor. Then you and your brother were really.
Well, my dad didn't have a vision. The reality is that my dad was, when Fidel came to our country.
Okay.
In Cuba, he was 2 years fighting guerrilla warfare against him. So he escaped Cuba.
Wow.
I came over here to this country. He came over here. He started washing dishes like many of our Cubans.
Yeah.
And many of the forefathers that we have that were our presidents, or they were presidents of the Latin Builders. That's their story. They came over here. They busted their butt. They became somebody and workers. And one of the histories of that we're so proud of, the past president of the Latin Builders, is that there was 5 guys that got tired of being pushed around. In the political side and in the building departments, they got together and they formed the Latin Builders. And years come to end, 10 years later, now those same people that were pushing us, they come to us for advice.
Wow.
So that's very influential.
Yes, 100. Now tell us a little bit more of that, because you keep saying Latin Builders. What is that for our audience?
Well, the Latin Builders Association was formed in 1971, where it started obviously as a construction association, and mostly had to be prejudiced about women, but it was just mostly men.
Correct.
But obviously we have grown, and not only we've grown that you don't have to be a builder or developer. Now we have all types of members. We have, and at the end of the day, what does construction encompass? A construction company encompasses everything. We have tables. We need to buy tables. So we have table manufacturers, furniture manufacturers. We have phones. We have people that give us phones that are members. We have, computers, web developers. Most of all, we have attorneys to take care of our problems. We have accountants.
Wow.
So, a construction company entails probably every type of company that's out there.
Yeah. So it has a lot of resources.
Yes. So we have evolved that. Yes, the name is Latin Builder Association. The reality is we should put business in there because we entail every business is out there.
Correct. And I'm actually sort of that Latin.
Yes. And thank you for being here.
Of course.
I'm glad to have you join, a few years back because we really only had big commercial contractors. We didn't have residential, and high-end residential contractors in. So you kind of like completed, our circle.
Complete the circle. You heard that? You heard it from the president of LBA? All right. So just to recap, because some people don't really understand. So, Anthony, you're the president of two companies. Okay. One company is your construction company that your dad started when he was younger. And then you and your brother kind of like some point of the game, you kind of went in as a shell contractor for residential properties. Eventually, what happens next? So you started the company, your dad started the company, you guys were in the company. At some point, you became that LBA president, but we'll talk about it later. What happened to the first business, the shell contractor?
If you're a business person, you want to grow.
Okay.
So, and back in the day, just doing shell wasn't cutting it. I mean, and people can understand that was there at that time. Back in the day, we used to charge $1 a square foot.
Wow.
To form and pour and do all that work for a house. I mean, do the math. It's not a lot of money.
Not a lot of money.
It's not like today. I mean, I'm glad that the structure contractors today charge what they charge. That way they can make a living and be, a pillar in our society. But back in the day, if you just did shell, you weren't going to make it. You were just living at a very low standard of life.
You check to check.
And check to check, correct. You got that right.
And then the liability too, because, you're working in the sun, you're working in all those elements. It's dangerous, like machinery and stuff.
Oh, back in the day, OSHA wasn't that present like it's today. Today you got to get strapped in and everything. I remember, doing 6-story buildings and I was on the side on the highway walking on a 2x4 with no straps. It was a Wild West show back in the day, to be honest with you.
That's amazing. So how do you guys did the transition?
So my brother and I, when we formed UniTech, we decided to become a total package.
Okay.
To become a real GC, not a subcontractor.
Correct.
To do structure. So we started, doing finishes in residential areas. A couple of houses in Coco Prom. In the Keys, we were there for about 7 years doing that, in Key Largo. But it just became frustrating to deal with, homeowners that never were decisive. I mean, you as a residential contractor, you know exactly what I'm talking
100%.
about. I got introduced to the commercial side, and when I would look at the plans, everything is detailed. If it's a wood baseboard, it's a wood 3 inches, that's what you get. If it's a rubber baseboard, that's what you get. If it's linoleum, that's what you get. So, even if, let's say I was doing a job for the city of Miami and the city manager didn't like the color of the baseboard, they couldn't do nothing about it because as long as the color that is in the plans was installed, I got paid.
Done.
And it's a done deal. It's a great concept. You do the work and you get paid. How about that?
I don't know. I don't even have to I terminate. That's why I don't do that anymore. Exactly. So it seems to me that when you guys were a shell contractor, you guys saw a opportunity because I guess you already had connections, and then you went from a shell contractor to a general contractor. And for the people who don't know this,
it was kind of easy that transition. And I'll tell you why. Because you're the shell contractor, you're the first one on the site, and if you do a good job, the owner's going to want you to stay.
Yeah.
And if you know how to do the rest, it's easy for you to just get the whole job.
Yeah.
So that's how that transition. I mean,
beautiful.
It was a beautiful transition, and it was easy. Why? Because what another concept. You tell them that it's going to be done in 2 months, and it's done in 2 months.
Because there's no emotional attachment.
There's no emotional attachment.
And in those 2 months, you're able to build the trust, right?
Yes.
If you're promising something, you deliver. If they see people working every day, they see things going up, they're like, wow, amazing. They could trust you by you building the trust. Now speaking to business owners, you have to build the trust in order for you to grow and or look for other opportunities. Like in your case, you were able to explore opportunities because of the trust building that you did.
Correct.
And then you became a general contractor for the whole house. Now you're doing framing, drywall, finishes, and now you're taking the whole project to the end. But it sounds to me that when you took on the responsibility, now that also comes with another layer of problems that you had no idea.
I was going to say headaches, but problems are nice and decent to say.
Opportunities. So what were those opportunities or headaches?
Like I said before, many times they would pick a color, you put your swatches on the wall.
Okay.
And something's a little paint wall, but another thing is when you paint the whole room.
Yes.
So then you paint the room, and it can be the wife or the husband, by the way. I'm not going to pick a side there.
Yeah, it's an emotional investment.
Yes. So they come in and they don't like the color, and then they want you to paint it again. And they think that the repainting is for free. And it doesn't happen because you got to pay your painter.
Yeah, you pay your painter.
And you have to buy the paint.
You buy the paint.
And every person that has done a home or that has tried to be a self contractor that says, no, I'm not going to hire a contractor, I can do it. I guarantee you that I have yet to speak to one that wants to do it again.
100%. Yeah.
And they get caught up in their own web because when you have a budget of, let's say, $10 a square foot of flooring, and in your brain you already have $10, and then you go and waste 15, do the math. If it's a 3,000 square foot house, that's 15 grand right there more. In just that.
Yeah.
And I don't need to tell you about the plumbing fixtures. You go and you fall in love, and instead of putting a Delta faucet, you fall in love with one of these French names that you can't even name.
Exactly.
And it costs you $3,000, which is a Delta faucet will cost you $300. So those little things start adding up.
And then at the end.
And the wood, after COVID, I don't need to tell you.
Yeah, the wood
the materials have gone through the roof.
Yes, a lot of materials went to the roof. Okay, so then you're basically going through these changes with new customers, and then you're like, wow, this is harder than I thought it was. How hard can it be?
And if you're a person that loves what you do, emotionally, it's draining.
Yes, and you're fully invested. You're not gonna quit. Like
no, you give your word.
Exactly.
Forget about whatever you sign. Whatever, if Tony Gomez gave you his handshake and his word, you can take that to the bank.
Whatever it takes, you're gonna be. And obviously, your success in your years in the industry is because I could really tell you never gave up. Like a lot of people, like they go in there thinking it's easier, but once they really understand what a business owner means, and you're the last one that gets paid, and if you don't deliver and your promises everything, and they quit because they can't handle the pressure. This business is not for construction, not for everybody.
No, it's not for everybody. You just touched the side of the homeowner. Let's touch the side of your employees.
Yes.
We right now, like we're in the mid-30s in-house employees. You got 35 families that you have to deal with. You're not dealing just with that one employee. It's a whole family. They're depending on you.
Yeah.
So you do that math real quick, and that's a ton of, of pocket change that you have to produce weekly so they get paid, because you have to pay your employees.
Yes.
Number one, before you eat,
Yep.
they go first.
Yep. And there's like a weight that a business owner has every day. Like when you sit and you look at your reports, when you sit and you look at your projects, and you see and you look at your profit or your losses, this is the way that you have to take care of your people first.
So many people don't do this math. It says, I'm a numbers guy. And to be a contractor, you have to be a numbers guy.
Yes.
Or an engineer in this field. My favorite day of the year is New Year's Eve. Favorite day.
Why is that?
Because I love to end the year and start the year with my family.
Nice.
That's sacred to me to do that. But New Year's comes in, we celebrate, but 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, boom, the contractor starts in the brain of the businessman. And people probably don't do this math, but this is a real easy math. If your nut is $100,000 a week, and you got 52 weeks, I just sold $5.2 million.
Yes.
I have to make clean for my company to survive.
Yeah.
They can't fathom that, but that's what goes through my brain.
Of course.
And it has to, because That's real numbers.
Yeah. One thing I love about numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't lie. One man is still anywhere
Simple
in the world.
It's just a lot of people miscalculate the numbers, like you said. The business, the homeowner had a allowance of $10, and then they're spending 15, and then what do you think is going to happen towards the end? Like you blew your budget. You blew your budget. I didn't blow your budget. I didn't tell you to go.
It happens to us when we do our own thing.
Yeah.
Like every time, I tell you, it happens. I mean, we tighten up ourselves, but it still happens.
Yeah, it still happens. I done my houses, my own houses. I remodel my houses. I build for my house. I always go over budget.
We just redid our offices, and we put a budget, and obviously it went over because wow, that wood looks a lot better.
Yeah.
And, it's 1,000 a year, 2,000 a year, 6,000 a year. When you're 50, 60 grand over like this in a second.
No, that's amazing. So, okay. So then you finished with residential. How did you transition to commercial? Because now, obviously, you went to the commercial side. And I think this is where like you really blew up.
Well, organically, it was a nice transition for me also because one of the homeowners had warehouses.
Okay.
And wanted to build warehouses. So we transitioned doing warehouses for him.
Got it.
And when I saw how easy it was to do warehouses, we call it white walls, which is you build it, you paint it white, and wherever they rent it to does their interior,
does their finishes,
and that's how we started doing that. And then at that same moment, I got introduced to the government sector, and I never used to bid. I didn't know what bidding was. That was like an alien word for me, bidding, back in the day, because it was just word of mouth.
Yeah,
the work that I was getting at that time. But obviously, the bidding process, opened up another world for us. And, all government projects, you have to bid.
Of course.
So I started bidding some parks in the city of Miami. And, lo and behold, I got a couple of them. We were great at it. Then we went to bid for the school board, and we got that project, and we exploded right after that.
Beautiful, beautiful. And then obviously, now is history. Now you were able to get your company set up, and I'm sure you're still growing your company, still learning stuff. Now, when did the transition? Because now you're the president of your construction company, but you also became the president of the Latin Builders Association. How did that work?
It's a beautiful story, by the way. So I went to the Fontainebleau Hilton, in the beach, to meet my bonding company, not my agent, my bonding company, because I had special relationships with all of them. And he was having a conversation with president at the moment of the LBA, which was Eric Monte de Oca.
Okay, this is how many years ago was this?
6 years ago.
6 years ago. Okay, so this is recent.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
I have a lot to say about that.
Like it's crazy how your transitions has been so like
fast.
Yes, and like natural and easy, and I'm like, how does it do that?
How do I do it? Like I tell everybody, hard work, and putting your time,
and building trust,
and everybody sees you're working hard. They just let me give Tony the presidency. No, it is a lot of backbones with all the presidents, the prior presidents.
Tell us those stories.
So Eric, we were there, and he gets up and he says, "Yeah, I'm the vice president of Gricon at that time. Now he's president of Gricon.
Okay.
Of construction. Much props to my boy. Love him very much.
Nice.
He gets up and gives me his hand. Also, I'm the president of the Latin Builders Association. And I go, okay. I mean, it
didn't register.
I used to be in the Latin Builders in the 80s.
Okay.
It wasn't for me. At that time, it was more robotic, I felt. And I was a little fish in a big pond.
Wow.
At that time.
Yes.
I was a youngster, and, all the people were there, like the very property, everybody suits like we are today.
Yeah.
So it was a little intimidating. And I said, this is not for me. So I stopped going and I stopped joining. But long and behold, it did a circle, and
pull you back in.
Eric told me, you should come to one of our lunches. And the next lunch I went, and by the time the lunch was over, I already had filled my application and joined the LBA.
Wow, okay.
That same day.
Yeah, well, you saw the body, you saw the people, which is again, it's a great community, guys. Like, if you're in construction, just go to LBA, search them up, and join. Because
LBAwork.com.
LBA.com. I mean, it's a great association, and you get so many resources. You get to be around people that they're doing what we're trying to do and learn from.
We are the largest Hispanic construction association in the United States.
Yes.
And we pride in networking. I mean, all our events are always sold out.
Yeah.
We're second to none. We just did my presidential gala that you were part of.
Oh, yeah.
Almost 1,000 people.
Almost 1,000 people. They're like more than 1,000 people. I think.
I felt, but
Probably.
oh, if you include the entertainment, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
you know,
And that was
10 bars, 3 bands, 2 DJs. I mean, wherever you moved, you had entertainment. So I'm very proud of that. And my girls, I call them my Charlie's Angels.
yes.
From my office, they did an amazing job. And Ali from Cabell, fantastic job, like always.
Knocked that out of the park.
Knocked that out of the park.
Nice. No, it was a great event. Absolutely. Okay, so then you first
I came in, and obviously I told Eric, if I come in, you got to promise me that I want to go all the way to the top. And he gave me the best advice that anybody could give anybody, a person like me that's a go-getter.
Yeah.
He told me, like I'm going to tell everybody there that wants to join LBA, wants to, take it to another level. It's real easy. Do your job. Make sure that you do it right. Don't do bad to anybody, and be present, and you'll get somewhere for sure.
100%. I love that. That's a great tip for somebody very successful that he's not just teaching. He's already there, and keeps growing. So
I love to help people.
Yeah.
It's in my DNA.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know why? Because I didn't get that help. Everything I've done on my own. My brother and I have never worked for anybody, just my father.
Wow.
And then, we took over, and that's it.
That's the difference when it comes when you start with nothing and you have to build something, it's like
You're personally invested in.
100%.
Yeah.
Hey guys, by the way, if you joined the show, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and you want to be part of our guests, go to howhardcanitbe.miami to register. So going back to the story. So now tell us the gap. So you joined the LBA, you did whatever you did, you work hard. Now, how do you go from being part of the LBA to president?
Like I said, hard work, one. Number two, participate.
Okay.
I became a member, and as soon as I became a member, I joined the events committee.
Okay.
Which is, I'm not going to say it's the hardest committee, but it's the one that works the most. I mean, because we're always doing parties and events and, and tournaments. I mean, our golf tournament is second to none here in the state of Florida.
Nice.
I mean, in the Trump, it's amazing. I mean, I wish I can do 2 courses, but it's just more headache for me to do it. But our golf sells out in less than 7 days.
Wow.
The tournament.
Yes. No.
So I got into the committee, signed the committee, and maybe about 5-6 months later, I became the director of the events committee.
Wow.
A month later, Montes invited me to be a director. So I became a director. And a year later, I was in his executive board.
Amazing.
So then his term was up. Eric Valderrama came in, and he kept me in the same position. And I was Eric Montes' right hand. I became Eric Valderrama's right hand, even though that Gus was the PE. He does the PE role, but events. I was doing events, and then that transitioned. Gus came in, and Gus is PE now, because I got elected that year, and I kept on doing events. I didn't want to hand it off. Between Gus and I, like always, we hit it out of the park. These events are organically by itself. I mean, we just put it out there, and everybody is flocking to it, which is amazing.
Yeah, and Gus is a great guy too. I met Gus. Obviously, I had a great time to speak with him too. And so Gus, by the way, he's a former.
Yes, he's the former president of the Dade Builders, and Gus Cabrera.
And the term is, how long is the term?
2-year term.
2 years.
So you're 2 years as we call it PE president-elect.
Okay.
And then 2 years president. So when Gus leaves, when he left, I became president, and we elected our PE, which is Ralph Cabrera.
So you're basically now the president of 2 companies. You still have your construction company, it's Duden Mason, it's commercial, but now you're the president. You just recently became the president. Now, because you said BP before?
PE.
PE before being a president. how has being the P to president in time? Is it the same time?
No, at all.
More now?
At all. It's a lot more. It's probably 50% more.
So now
as a PE, I probably was involved between 20 to 30 hours a week.
Okay.
On your own time, and not in consecutive times either.
Correct.
As a P, I can tell you that you're close to 60-hour weeks.
Okay, so now, let me get this straight. So now you're putting 60 hours a week on LBA. How many hours a week are you putting in your construction?
Probably the same amount.
So now you're putting 120 hours a weekday. How do you manage that? Like, because you have to give and take something. How do you manage that?
No sleep. You got to know what you do.
Yes.
And you got to have dedication.
Take notes, guys. These are tips.
So I love construction.
Yes.
Like you remember when I got here today, I said, man, if you want to talk about astronaut or the moon, you got the wrong guy.
Same here.
Now, if you want to talk about construction, we can be here for forever. And like yourself, we can talk all day.
Yeah.
Because I have a passion for it.
Yeah, you love it.
And I have a passion for the LBA. Even when I joined, it felt heartwarming to me. The president made it, Eric made it real cozy for me to come in and bring my style of leadership. Because everybody has a different style of leadership.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what it is. I think every president has done an awesome job, because if not, the LBA wouldn't be where it's at today.
Yeah, but it would have grown and less.
Grind is something, but being respected it's a big thing for me. And we respect to get respected.
Yes, you have to earn respect.
And you have to earn respect. The LBA, the past presidents have done a magnificent job in creating that environment for me. And me organically, that's the way I am. I'm built that way, and everybody knows me. That's the way I am. I respect a little kid.
Beautiful. I love it. So, just to narrow down the tips, basically, love what you do. Everything that you have said today is love what you do, because you're going to basically commit and figure it out. You have to work hard, work smart, never give up, push through.
I don't think anybody can be successful if you don't know what you do.
Yeah.
Unless you win the lotto. And that's
of course.
That we're not even talking about. I'm talking about work.
Yeah.
If my children, my daughters that are doctors, I told them, pick a career that you're going to love and just be the best at it. If you love me, there's people that love to clean. And there's nothing wrong with that, because we need everybody.
Oh, yeah.
in that sector. But I told, if you want to be a floor sweeper at the airport, man, when there's a problem, you want to say, let's go get Anthony, because I need this floor sweeper and I want it to shine. And you should have pride in that. And be the best floor sweeper there is. Period. It doesn't really matter. In fact, the floor sweeper probably sleep better than we do.
Yes.
They literally do. And, there's no access, there's no liability.
The level is very minimal.
Very minimal.
Yeah.
for their job scope. So believe me, their life is a lot simpler than ours.
Yes,
But with the same love and passion, they finish their job and say, wow, I'm happy that they're getting praised by their peers that they did their job correct.
100%. Now, Anthony, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the great knowledge and the great tips. If somebody here in the audience, I'm sure there's a lot of contractor people here in the industry, if they want to reach you, or they want to get more information about the LBA and so forth, how can they?
Sure. So go to lba.org. Our office is located in here in the Gables. The ladies, the Charlie's Angels that we have there are phenomenal. Our directors of membership, our director of operation, and our controller, they're phenomenal. They'll take care of you. And you can get a hold of me by going to the website and clicking. And if you want to join, to be honest with you, before joining, do yourself a favor and come to one of our lunches or one of our events. One of my favorite ones of all are our member cocktails. Go to one of those and you see how much networking you do at that moment, and you decide for yourself. Thank you for being here today and sharing my thoughts with you.
And I'll definitely be there too as well in the events. So guys, thank you for being here again. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I'll see you in the next one.